Hey everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is Power Play, and we're joined as always by Chris Uminski. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Brian. How are you doing?
Doing quite well. Excited to talk some hockey as the regular season is underway. After one game, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling really good, Brian. It always feels good to get OW on day one. It was all around just an entertaining game, and I'm feeling good about the future right now.
Yeah, so a 3-1 victory over the Chicago Blackhawks. Obviously, the have like the main storyline of the NHL season, it seems so far, in Connor Bedard. I don't know if you want to touch on that first, and then we can talk a little bit more. I know we had a familiar face on Chicago as well, if you want to talk about him. But yeah, floor is yours.
Yeah, so I'll start first. So game one against the Chicago Blackhawks. The two biggest things talking about the Blackhawks going in are first, it's the return of Taylor Hall, who he was only with the Bruins a short time, but was one of my favorites when he was on there. And it was really sad because he got hurt and he's gonna be out for a while.
Yeah,
So that
so what exactly happened there? Give me your thoughts on the injury.
um the injury, I didn't actually see exactly what his injury was. But yeah, he got injured during a play.
Yeah, Brandon Carlo
And
hit
it's
him and he
something like
went down awkwardly.
yeah, he got Aaron Rodgers,
Oh,
Rogers, duh,
right.
Rogers, duh, something like that.
No, there's not going to
Uh,
be any disciplinary action, so that's good for Bruins fans.
yeah, nope. It was a clean hit. Nobody was trying to say it wasn't. It was just an unfortunate situation, and you hate to see that happen to a guy
Yeah.
to a guy like that. They're saying he's week to week with an upper body injury, whatever that is.
Yeah, it's like with hockey, what can you really do with these
Yep,
injuries?
we're back to the vague hockey injury reports.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure Chicago is very excited to get Taylor Hall. Obviously, we're big fans of him on the show. Felt like a big moment when he got traded to the Bruins, and we covered that. And sad to see him go, and sad to
Yeah,
see him get hurt here in this first
it's
game.
good because he's for them at least because he's playing really well with Connor Bedard.
Well, let's talk about Connor Bedard. It seems like it's he's the person that most hockey media wants to talk about right now. So tell me your feelings on him.
Yeah, so I haven't seen a number one overall pick this hyped up since they were talking about Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin. Um, and he played very well. He scored his first NHL goal in the game against the Bruins. He scored the only goal for the Blackhawks. Um, And it's funny that happened because he scored on Linus Olmark, the reigning Vezina Trophy winner. And another notable NHL legend, Mario Lemieux, did the exact same thing. He scored his first NHL goal against the Boston Bruins against the reigning Vezina winner.
So anyone listening, keep that in the back of your mind. 20 years from now, bar trivia, you're gonna be able to pull this out.
That's right. That's right. And Connor Bedard, I think he's living up to the hype so far. He looks really good. He's got a very bright future ahead of him. The Blackhawks are very lucky to have him. I could do with less of the just media overload. Um, like, oh, Connor Bedard scores his first goal. My phone's blowing up with notifications from every imaginable sports media market, even ones that don't traditionally cover hockey.
Yeah, no, it's been interesting to see as someone who's not as plugged in to hockey to see like he's become basically the main story of the season so far.
And I think this speaks also to the NHL knows they have a marketing problem, especially when it comes to marketing their stars. So like, all right, we have this brand new fresh face. Let's start now and just market the crap out of this guy.
And that makes sense to me, of course. But good for him. Good for the Blackhawks. Got the media how to play like media impressions out of this, but ultimately the Bruins did win 3-1 here.
Yes, they did.
So let's talk a little bit about the Bruins and how they did and what you liked from them on the ice.
So the first thing I want to say is I'm very happy that Milan Lucic is back. A lot of people were a little nervous, like he's not going to be the same guy he was back in 2011. He's getting old. Like, yep, I know, but he's got his first point back. He's got David Pastrnak right back. I hit the David Pastrnak anytime goal button real hard on my DraftKings that day, and that paid off. He got goals.
Yeah, no, love to see it. And you know what? None of us are who we were in 2011, for better or worse. So can't hold that against him.
So it's exciting. I'm very happy to see that they hit the ground running this year. We were all nervous to see how it was going to be without Bergie, without David Krejci. But right now, I am optimistic based on the very small sample size they had. They looked like the team that they were during the regular season last year.
Yeah, so that'll be exciting to keep watching. Obviously, it's always exciting just to have the start of a new season. But if the start is positive and we can be in for another good season here on the show of covering the Bruins, I think that'd be great for us personally, as people talk about it.
Yeah, I agree. And my favorite moment in the game last night too was Brad Marchand giving Connor Bedard a hard time. At one point, that is a good way to welcome a guy like that to the National Hockey League.
Mm. Oh man. All right. So anything else from this game that you want to talk about?
From this game, no. I guess the only thing was there was a beautiful ceremony before the game, as this is the Bruins centennial season.
Yes. So 100 years of Bruins hockey. Hard to believe it's been so long. I mean, 100 years for a franchise to exist is crazy.
Yeah, and the Bruins are a founding member of the NHL. So the Bruins Centennial is something that the league itself is marketing a lot. I'm having fun with all the stuff. They brought back a whole bunch of the old guys to the game last night, and some relatives of players who aren't around anymore. And there was a pretty cool ceremony. They did their like all-time centennial team.
Any controversies, any big snubs that you saw there?
So I made my own personal Bruins Centennial team, and I had a couple of differences. I noticed that they left off Joe Thornton. I think Joe Thornton should have been on the Centennial team. I noticed they left off both Tim Thomas and Andy Moog as goaltenders, and I thought that was an interesting choice. But overall, other than that, no real controversy from my part.
Yeah, you'd think at least Tim Thomas, like the last time the Bruins won a cup, he was the goalie. You'd think you'd want to, and he's, young enough to come to the game, right? Like you'd think you'd want to bring him out and be like, oh, yes, that was awesome. 2011.
Like he's been pretty reclusive too. Like he hasn't wanted to be a part of a whole lot of hockey stuff in general since he retired. But for the Centennial stuff, he's been fairly active. He was on an episode of Behind the B. The fact that he even let them into his house, I thought was surprising.
I just imagine him just in the Canadian wilderness, like on a compound, like survival
it's not the Canadian
style.
It's the Vermont.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Vermont is very his style, if we're being honest.
And I think his son might play for the University of Vermont.
Oh, that's fun.
which I think would be neat.
Mhm. Very good hockey team there, obviously.
Yes, yep, they're one of the best in the country.
Yeah, so Tim Thomas, you're on Chris's Centennial team, so
That's right.
who cares
And
about the actual Bruins one?
and Brian, I'll send you my Centennial team. We can tweet it out a long time with the
Yeah,
video. I'm still gonna
yeah,
call it
we can
tweet. Screw Elon Musk.
make it like a blog post or something.
Yeah,
Do something like that. I think that'd be good if people are interested. So check out the blog,
yes.
of course. We can get everything sports.com. Right now, it's mostly me giving my predictions of NFL weekly picks. So doing pretty good. But it'll be good to have other stuff on there too.
Yes. That's my homework.
Right. So yeah, other than that, anything you want to touch on or just looking forward to the rest of the
Nope.
season?
Real happy hockey's back. Real happy goalie hugs are back.
Yes.
Um,
Very exciting. Bruins are back. Celtics come back in like a week and a half. It's all happening, Chris. Football's in full swing, though.
I'm very
I don't know how Boston fans feel about that this season.
meh.
Yeah,
Meh.
we got the
It's
Bruins
football
Celtics
season.
covered at least. Oh man! All right, where can they find you online?
The best spot for me is gonna be probably TikTok right now. That's just at Chris Uminski. And then I'm still on Twitter, sort of. I'm calling it Twitter. Screw Elon Musk. And I'll post there sometimes, but I'm not super active there anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't think on any of the shows I do anyone is calling it X, so including myself, because
Right.
I'll be damned if I'm gonna redo like, you know, overlays or anything or ask more to like, can you change the Twitter bird to an X? No. I personally think they're gonna switch the name back at some point. So I'm holding out.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, yeah. Follow Chris on Twitter, X, whatever you call it, and on TikTok. You can follow me on Twitter at the fake Mark, BMARR. Mostly talk about Survivor and Dolphin stuff right now. And then the channel is on TikTok. Search Wicked Sports. We have a podcast channel that's Better Radio, and our main channel, Wicked Everything. I already plugged the blog. Go check that out. And other than that, Chris, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Brian. Go Bruins.
Go Bruins. Hell yeah. And we'll see you all in the next one.